Majid, hi. Welcome on in. How are you? It's been a while. It has been a while. How is everything? Tell me. I wanna know. I wanna know. Ah. A lot of things happened to my hair. A lot of things have happened. Yeah, but that's good news. I mean, I'm sorry. It's good news to me. The massive crash is great. I kind of love it. I think it's a good opportunity for anyone to like just get massive impact in the next run, which I kind of like warned about it 3 months ago. Yeah. Did you get some profit in the Luna section? Because I know how heavily it has dropped, which no good. No good. Good. So that's good news. So, like the recommendation that we have now on a massive drop like this is if you can, you just de-invest and reinvest in the same 10 minutes. You lost the fees, but the amount that you can potentially make now in the next run is pretty massive. Pretty massive. But yeah, no, I happy to see you here. As always. As always, we are less crypto oriented than before, for sure. But I mean, we talked about it last time. So, hello. Eric's code will come on in. I hope it was audible enough. I think it was. I can see the drops to -20. I think it was okay. Oh, I hate this fucking song. I mean, not yet, Majid. I do agree with a bit of, like, pushing for crypto, but I still think it's crashing a bit for, like, I don't know, the next month or two will probably plummet and then we'll go back up. But, like, for now that it's low, it's time to not really talk about it, and you on your own, like, buy a lot of tiny things that you think could potentially go up easily. So things like Shiba, for example, or I mean, Dogecoin is kind of dead, but also it's kind of dead every time. So yeah, Nishit, hi, welcome on in. Alex Code, what do you see? Cool name gradient. Where? Where? Aiden, hi. Welcome on in. Sol, yes. How is it? Did you buy into it? Oh, you mean that? Yeah. VXV again? You still think VXV is a good play? I still haven't. I mean, we talked about it like last time. Last time you were here, if I remember correctly, you told me look into VXV. It's pretty cool, but vector space. I mean, on the one day, we had like a 20% increase, which is pretty cool. On the year, however, we're still down, but Well, still a good ratio from the spike, right? Like from the previous thing to spike that was at 16, and now we're at like 1, so we are down a lot. um, and yeah. Oh, my gradient in chat, Alex Code. Yes, this is it. Is it? Are you talking about my gradient in chat, or are you talking about someone else's gradients in chat? Because I have 7TV installed, which you might now have if you can see my gradients. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think I caught up with the chat. Yeah, so the thing is, as I said to Majid earlier, I guess now is kind of the time to accumulate and like just get greedy a bit, because you can get a massive amount of shares for nothing. Right. So, for example, if you wanted to reinvest in Bitcoin just to be safe, right? Because, right, I mean, let's look at it like this. That's my usual look at it, right? I invested after this spike right there, the spike of 2012, 2013. I saw the thing going from like 70 to, I think it's max to 1K, about 1K. So from $70 to 950 something, I was like, damn, that's amazing. Like let's invest in that. And then I didn't. I think I invested around here or here, I forgot, like somewhere on the slope, because it stayed at like 200. Shannon, hi, welcome on in. And then, and it was so flat. I sold everything after this. I mean, not everything. Like I think I kept like $50 at the time, which was kind of nothing, but still. And it went back to 17K, almost like 19K. Like I probably sold around here, right? When it went from 200 to 600, that's probably what I did. And then it went to 19. And it crashed down again. And I probably sold around here. Why? Something feels like you couldn't hear the womp womp. You couldn't hear that, could you? Fuck. I don't understand this fucking thing. Who is rooting through something different than usual? This sound issues on this computer is just making me go crazy. You're going to default, which makes a lot of sense. But you should go to something else? Why? Aiden, good job. Good job on that. Scott, welcome on in also, sorry. This is just... I hate this fucking song. No voice. You can hear the music, right? I mean, you can hear a bit of the music, even though it's fucking low. My question is, why the fuck can't you hear this? Yeah, I mean, this specific one is starting very softly. Now a bit less. But I need to understand why you can't hear shit when that happens. You should have. You should. That's. Why did it work last time and now it doesn't work anymore? That's. Maybe I disappear for a second. Everything is fine. I'm still there, I guess. Yeah. About to kill your eyes, what happened? What happened? So this seems like everything is working, but that doesn't show. Makes no sense. I hear it though. Is it just dead? So I killed the streamer bot just in case. Restart it. See if it pops in. It doesn't. I don't understand that. Oh, a few. Yeah. Sorry for the delay again. Let's stand. I don't understand why. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. I guess that was loud. Still is. Still is loud. Let's try again. I just. I will kill people. I will kill people for sure. For sure. For sure. Every fucking time. Where the fuck are you?
Where are you now? I'm waiting here. Sing for me sweet lullabies.
Womp womp, 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 womp womp.
I think we're good, but also I don't know shit anymore with these things. Ah, it's welcome. Sorry. I hate sounds. I hate sound issues. I wish the wavelength software wasn't that trash at times. And I wish I could just use the mic with the wavelength software instead of what I'm doing now, but at least it works. How loud was the womp womp? Was it good enough? Was it too loud? Not loud enough? You tell me. You tell me. It was good? Good. One last test. Seems okay as well. So, before the sound issues, I was saying crypto stuff. So, like, Bitcoin I had a fucking spike in 2017, went down to like almost nothing compared to the spike. But when you look at the prior prices, it's nothing. It's like 10 times higher, right? So right now we started at like 3K, and we went up to 65. I mean 69K almost. And then we went down, and currently we are at 30K, which is 10 times higher than the previous low. So, right, this low of 200 and 300 and something, right, went back down to 10 times up, and now we are at 30K, which is almost 10 times up. So, we could potentially like settle down here. I'm still thinking that we will settle down around 9K, like in between like 19 and 9K spike, previous spike around here. That seems, in terms of pattern, that seems similar. We'll see. Pattern is like random on crypto, so we'll see what happens. But as I say, this red everywhere is the perfect time to invest a bit. You are like, to any coin that is extremely low, it seems like music is a tad loud now. That's better. Probably is not. So everything at like a negative percentage in the past year or in the past 90 days, all of that is what I say every time. It's the sale percentage off at which you pay your thing. So this one, Solana, on the last year is at minus 70%. So because I've bought Solana about a year ago, if I buy back now the same dollar amount, I get 70% more than what I bought at the time. So as long as I keep my Solana in my wallets, I'm not 70% down, right? So it is, I don't know. Oh, you had it. I mean, it makes sense, right? He just want to protect you and your money, which make a lot of sense. Like Avalanche right now is 70% off. I should invest more in that shit. But yeah, like as I see it, everything is on sale. And if you look at patterns, which is what I do, pattern on the long term, we have nothing, then spike, then nothing, then spike, then nothing, then spike, then nothing, then spike, right? So far, we had the longest run being Bitcoin because it's the first one. But so far, we had 3 runs. Health shower, hi, welcome on it. Purple-ish. Have a bit of a lilac color. So we had like 3-4 years run, right? And our cycles are like mainly in like 4 years compressing. So what I've learned in all that time is we started with a 4.5-year cycle. The second one was 3.8. The third one was like 3.5. And the next one will probably be 3. So in the next 3 years after the spike of 2021, so 2024 almost, like end of 2024, we should have our next spike if we follow the same pattern, right? So that's spike, and every 3 to 4 years. Or we have an extending because of this crash that will officially be like a lot, but I don't know. I wish I could see that. I wish I could do these thing, but I can't. Can we do that? Can't see what I'm doing. That's the bottom, almost. And then from here to here, right, that's basically our tops. So in terms of value, the growth that we have here is similar to the growth that we have here. And so the decent that we have there is probably reported here. So yeah, I don't know. This graph, this chart right here is a bit harder to understand because it doesn't go as far as I want it to be. But like if you take the proportion of spike and dip and apply the same values proportionally from here to here, you get almost the same thing. You get a 42% overall here, and you get a 42%, 40% here, and then the downward we are like minus 20%, and right now, they say 20%, I don't trust that, but almost, and I guess we're like at 30% right now. Dip on the year, yeah, 38. So it's really similar. It's really similar, and I don't think we will have like a bit of a reversal anytime soon. So if that happens, that prove me wrong. That's great. I love that. But in the meantime, if you have a bit of cash and you are interested in crypto, now might be the time to like look into some of the project that looks interesting or looked interesting and looked like solid enough to continue and stay alive, and then just put like, I don't know, $100, £100, nothing. Maybe your 100 can become something a bit bigger. I don't know. Not like I've done that before multiple times. The most outrageous one that I did, and we talked about it together, is a $14 investment turning into a 4K return. Just because I was like, I have this on my wallet, let's put it in this fucking coin, it looks interesting. From $14 went to 4K. That happened. And then it crashed down. And then it crashed down. But it happened. So if I was to time the market a bit better, could have made banks. I didn't. I just saw the curve, dude. Like, okay. 14. It's only that, how much? Like 100? Yeah. Aiden, I told you that last time. Next week, it's not a good idea. I have Solana on a wallet that is currently officially is this one, and officially I have something staked somewhere. I have 2 Sol staked. And yeah, it has been there since, I don't know, 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I transferred a certain amount, which I don't really know if it's 2.25 or if it's something else. But if it's that, then I should probably have a bit of gain, but not so much. I don't know. Maybe to give it back to me. I have no clue what happened. Well, I know it's staked and there. And I don't care about it. Like I have, as I say every time, I have like coins all around in different wallets that I absolutely forget about. Sometimes I genuinely forget my password. And then I find the password again. And I'm happily surprised. Like, I have things on these called wallets. I don't fucking know what's on there. Maybe it's a lot, maybe it's nothing. I have no clue. Absolutely forgot. So yeah, if you can afford it, play with a bit of cash. Like, if you can. And as I said, the top 100 usually stable, usually good, but sometimes you have projects that don't survive. This one looks pretty interesting though. Litecoin, I had a ton of Litecoin, and at the spike of 2013, the spike of 2017, and the spike of 2020. You can see how the difference is like This one is 386 and this one is like 350. So the difference is like nothing compared to the difference in spike in other currencies or crypto like Bitcoin or Ethereum, where we went from 17k to like 64k. That's a bit different, but yeah. And then Solana is the developer-centric coin. You can invest into, as I said 6 months ago, invest in exchanges coin if they have. So Crow is interesting. Like Binance, the Binance coin, I forgot the fucking name. Coinbase doesn't really have a token, as far as I know, but same thing for like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, all the swaps thingy. Useful. I have some cake somewhere staked, gaining traction, all that. So BNB, yeah, thank you. And yeah, I don't know. I don't use crypto on the daily. So it's always a good surprise. Like currently I have like $5 in Ethereum on a specific wallet, which is not a lot. Yeah, I don't know. Invest small amounts. I have things like I think I have 1,000, a million, 1,000. I think it's 1,000. Shiba Inu that are like staked somewhere on their server thingy. I don't know how safe it is. I don't give a shit. It's there. It's just growing. And unless they are implementing new like processes and all that, I don't know. So today is the clean slate day. So I have like started a bit of a writing for like creating like a Medium article about clean slate and how to set up things. So Shannon, if you're still here, this could be interesting to you. I don't know when it will be available because I can't write for shit. But I know that you prefer reading rather than video. So my goal here is to create a script for a video, basically. So this is basically like not a script, but a script, not a script, right? It's like a base so I can read and like follow the steps of that, and then give it as a Medium article so that people who prefer to read, and then a video at the top so that people who prefer to have a video then see the thing. And so basically I added like some pictures and shit to just help, but I still need, like, so far we have what's OBS, how I create basic things, naming stuff, and then plugins, and I still need to explain OBS behavior, which is the next thing. But what I wanted to do, even though I wanted to do that on a PC rather than on a Mac, and we did that before, I think explaining how a clean slate works on stream will always be a good thing. Millie, this is your overlay, which I don't have anything. I guess I reset these. Like so. Yes, I can do that. That fucking song. So. That's a halfway, not really full screen thing. Okay, good.
You know what? I have an idea.
Jerk off party?
No.
Let's do this.
No.
I like where this is going.
Okay, put it away.
Really Hungry Hedgehog, welcome on in. How are you? How are you? Thanks a lot for the bits. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So, really blank OBS, which is personally my favorite thing to see, but I understand how daunting it can be. So, the thing that I wrote on the article is basically OBS is like revolving or working with 2.5, 3 general concept, which is the concept of sources, scene, and external stuff like plugins, scripts, other softwares, browser source, all of that. So a scene will have a collection of sources, and a source is whatever you want to have.
Don't pee on the floor, use the Commodore.
Yes.
La 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 la.
I look different? I look a bit different. I have a different hair color today, which is weird. And also I have a shirt. Maybe that's different, I don't know. Lighting is different. I don't like it today. I don't know. Different things. Oh no, I have the entire thing that will probably be recorded. I don't know, shit. Mr. Whiskey Smooth, welcome on in. But yeah, I will take more screenshot in depth on everything that happens. So scene is a collection of sources, and a source is just an element that is displayed on your final mix. The final mix is always displayed in this currently black square. And then you can switch from the final mix that is selected by switching scene. So one example that I use is you get a source, like a color source. I'll use my naming convention now, but I will still re-explain it later. So a color source is just like a rectangle with a specific fucking color, and you can give it like whatever size you want, and most of the time it works. So right now, let's say I wanted to have this with an orange color, right? Bright orange, which seems to be red-ish. I like a more on the red side than the Mac, but that's fine. And I click cancel because I'm a dumbass. That's good to know. So let's go green this time. Let's do 400 by 400, right? So we have these, okay? So far so good. And so then let's say you have a new scene, which currently will be called scene 2. And so in here you add, I don't know, something else, another color source, right? So that's another layer, color source 2. And this one would be red. And instead of 400 by 400, we will make it, I don't know, 600 by 200, right? And we'll put it here. So that's a source. And that's another source. But as you can see, when I'm switching from scene 1 to scene 2, at the bottom right there, right? I'm just switching from final mix 1 to final mix 2. So that's the basic thing that you need to understand on how OBS is working, basically, right? That's just, you have scenes, you have content inside of the scenes, and the sources are displayed in what is called the final mix. That's the entirety, right? You can also have the ability to just take one of these, use Command C, and then go into another thing and do a Command V, and it will be pasted somewhere else, right? If I move this here, it doesn't move in the other one because it's two different source. Or, I mean, it's two different sources. It's the same source in two different scenes. As a designer, you could potentially think about one scene as a canvas or frame based on Figma wording, and every source being like layers. So this is the basic of how you need to understand like OBS. On top of that, you could create different transition. And so let's say I wanted to have like a slide transition that will slide left. So when I'm switching from scene 1 to scene 2, elements are coming from the left side, right? Currently they are taking 30 or 300 milliseconds, and usually what I'm going for is like 1200, but for today let's do 2000, just so it's like slower and we can kind of see each transition, right? So that's a basic slide transition that takes 2 seconds to complete. But in the third point that I was talking about earlier, which is the externals, plugins and all that, there is a plugin called Move Transition, which give you the ability, if I don't do anything, like just do that, give you the ability to create smooth transition from scene 1 to scene 2 by just looking at the names of elements in different scenes. So in scene 1, I have my layer called color source and color source 2, and in scene 2, I have just color source 2. So you have OK, O-O-K, something. Hayden, that could work. Could work. So you can see how this thing is just moving around and just getting placed, right? But you can also see that my green square is going, for some reason, arriving from the left side and then leaving on the right side for no apparent reason, and also coming from small to big and then from the big to small. So these things, and Melly, that's specifically for you, I've seen that you have that enable on your side, is in Move Transition settings, in all that. Also, yes, you can resize settings, Windows, in Windows and in Mac, if you need to see more settings at once. The reason why it's doing this zoom is because the zoom thingy has been enabled. So because I don't like the zoom option for appearing items, I will get rid of the zoom, and for disappearing items, I will get rid of the zoom as well. And then another thing, in terms of position, right? The reason why one is going to one side when it's appearing and the other one is going to the other side when it's disappearing is because the position here is center left for the appearing items. So center left is here, and then center right is just here. That's the disappearing side. So in order to make that more smooth, what I usually do is just do away from center for both, meaning that it will take its specific position relative to the closest edge of your entire final mix, and move the thing to like away from the screen, as the name implies. And then you have some transition. You can do a fade if you wanted to. I don't usually do that. So it's just click OK and see how this is appearing. So you can see that my green square now is appearing from the closest section. But if I move it here, it's going closer to the edge of my final mix, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing is currently is going away from the screen, and then this one, let's say for some reason I want it to be like way bigger and here. Move transition would just do the animation on its own for me without me having to think about it too much, right? So basically, that's why I use move transition. Then you have multiple things. Let's say this, I wanted to have rounded corners. For that specific thing, I need a plugin called OBS Shader Filter. And so this is a user-defined shader from a file. As you can see, my element disappeared in the background. That's fine. We'll just go in there, look for the file that we are needing, which is called rounded rectangle, right there. And then from that, we just bump the radius. And so you can see that I have some radius happening. So you can create weird shit with this plugin, right? So just be aware of what you are able to do. But let's say I wanted to create a pill similar to my camera, for example. I would have like a 106, potentially 108. I guess 106 is like closer. And so this filter has been added to scenario high, added to that shape. If I go back to scene 1, it's just growing in size, but it's keeping the same like elements, everything, right? So you should ADHD designer Shannon, you should you should do weird shit with plugins. There are a ton of things that you can achieve with the shaders, and I mean, I don't even know how I can explain it, but there are some really, really weirdly glitchy things, like this one, for example. Which happened? Yeah, of course. Sharon, ask questions. So, this glitchy, weirdly vibrating things exist. And then, right, it's still vibrating and doing the same shit on both sides. So, basically, in terms of placing your elements and having transition smooth, like the one that I'm having on stream, which I pretty much like, very biased here, of course, is that's the basic. You create your shapes, you put them into the scenes that you need to have them, or where you need to have them, and then yeah, like OBS will just be smart enough to do the thing that it needs to do. Right? Mr. Whiskey Smooth, yes, if you go into here on Figma, you can go into show version history at the top, and then in there you have the ability to see things. There might be not exactly 1 hour ago, but you may find something that is closer to what you needed to have and just have to redo like 5 steps. So that's one way of doing it. You don't really have other real options. The only way to restore a version is to click the version and then say restore version, or duplicate or save as duplicate and then just copy paste your changes. That could work. Fucking yeah, that will be fine. Let me just, I haven't. So, Shannon, you said, I want some text I can edit in a rounded rectangle as the background that had the width of the text. So, yeah. If you want to create buttons in Figma, basically like the buy right here, right? That's what you're trying to do, I guess. You just create a text and then you add a background. So, right? Go in there, you do, it's a free type on this one. Fuck. Well, because it's free type, I don't know if I can do the same thing on Mac than PC, but it's basically the same thing. So you do that. You can't have, on PC, you have the thing, but because you're on fucking Mac, I don't know why it makes it like a gradient when it shouldn't be, but it makes it a gradient. Good. Can I have a GDI text in there? No. Well, not possible on Mac, sadly. Sadly not possible on Mac, Shannon. I'm sorry. PC is like easy as fuck, but on Mac, also it makes my computer like display go. I don't like to play with text, specifically this one. It's just make it no good. So you can't achieving this. Basically, this by text on a Mac would be highly difficult right now with the version of OBS that I have installed. So I don't know if there's like a new version or something that exists. Seems like there is one, so let's see. Maybe it adds GDI text. I don't know. If that's the case, that's great. If that's not the case, that's great as well. I'm fine with it. But let's see. Maybe it breaks everything that I just created. That's also a great thing to have. No, it's still not existing. Sad. So if you want to do like a browser source, you can, but my numbers, like on a technically speaking, wanted to have this. counted. The wafer badge, like the yellow thing with the text daily follow, is an image. The 2 and 69s are a browser source, and the bar in the middle, like the slash in the middle, is a color source inside of OBS. So you won't see me or hear anything, but that's the wafer. That's basically an entire scene with just the wafer, and it's somewhere placed on scenes. So if you want to have like a text in a shape that looks like a button, and the text in itself doesn't change, then you can do the same thing that I did on the gimme 2 minute on the side. This is a PNG, right? That's easily a PNG. The I'll P right back is a PNG as well. The starting soon, like everything here, except the we can chat and all, but I'm probably spamming all the discords. All that little text at the bottom, the rest is just PNGs. And that's fine, it works. But if you want to be able to update the text while you're streaming, then yeah, a browser source may be the yeah, might be the way of doing this. I don't. Do you want it to be automated in terms of updates? What do you want to have inside of this block of text? I don't know. Does that? Could that work? I'm thinking. So we'll see. Maybe GDI text is like available but just needs to be imported, which sometimes that's things that happen. So stream stuff, and then we have not in these. I guess, what the fuck are you? Here. Yeah, so like a lower third that says current topic, right? Basically. Yeah. So if you you could, let me just trigger something that is not supposed to be triggered manually, but will be manually triggered. Right, the thing that I have on the bottom right of the screen, not the floaty me. Commander roots as following. Interesting. The bottom section, right, with the name of the person in the green background is a color source, and then just a text on top of it with the wrapper element. So if there is more text, it will just go lower. Basically, for subs, I have text and another thing, right? And the message, the percent message percent, will be replaced by the message that you, as a viewer who decide to sub to the channel, to like write a message, that would be where the message is placed. Currently, what it is just a text on top of a rectangle, and then the rectangle itself is just a fixed height, and also by basically the text is a fixed height and width, meaning that to do the same thing, right? If you wanted to just have like a lower third, like this one, basically, with your name on it, not your name, but like the subject, you could easily do that. Like you create not a GDI text, a text layer, and then you give it a max width, and you should be good. We can take a look at that. Let me just import this and just see if it works. But like let's say this is your lower third, right? It needs to be maybe this way, and then this text box thingy, what you want to do is okay, it just took ages to update. So you need to define its size. I guess for this one you would be around 80, potentially, maybe a tad lower, so 56. I'd say no outline. We don't give a shit about that. So in terms of placement, it visually look like this. I want something that is smaller.
Beat the ladies off with a stick. Back, woman! Back, I said!
So now I have my box that is taking this amount, meaning that if I'm typing a longer text, it should wrap under, right? So it's not great. I'm not sick. I'm okay. I'm just tired. Yes, usually tired. That's me. That. By the way, I'm sorry about the color of this. This is trash. Shouldn't. Right? So, Shannon, if you wanted to have just a lower third like this, you could have that here, and then let's say you get this. Oh yeah, that doesn't work in here. You get this here. It's fine, it's fine. I'm just focused for no reason. Right? So you would have, let's say on specific, I guess it's mainly the music that doesn't match with me today. I don't like it. Absolutely don't like it. And I haven't set it up properly, so I can't use the one that I want to use. I mean, this one's pretty fine, but sorry. It's hot. It's hot for me. It's too hot for me. That's also a thing. Yes, I agree. I agree.
Let's go. Can I put my balls in your jaw? Balls in your jaw. Can I?
So you would have something like this, right? You would have a thing at the bottom that just wrap around, right? So no. I mean, it is to make my hair look glamorous, but still. So I guess that would be my way of doing the thing. I'm just checking out the round camera thingy, which will break. The fuck? Solstogler is the only one that is missing. Interesting. Ah, shit. So this is not visible. I think I need a background. I think I need a background, which basically these ones is located in my here, I guess. Video asset, no. Animated stuff. Where the fuck did I put it? White overlay, animated stuff, right? That's the... Yes, it is. Okay. Distribution, index. Okay, now we have this. So, let's go into the ending. So we don't have the text right there. And I'm guessing this is because of my filter, which, if I get rid of it, doesn't work. Interesting. Okay. That's good to know. So this is replaced on a Mac by the disgusting text-based thingy that Mac is using, which makes no sense, but that's fine. All right. Well, it's fine. Aiden, don't sign up to Coinbase now. It's no good right now. Like, it's under fire. Make sure it's make sure it's fine with yourself. So, first of all, thanks a lot for being here for like over a week. I appreciate that. And I know you don't really care. Anyways, I will tell you. We are doing design stuff, and like lately, I've been doing some OBS changes and updates, and like helping people with OBS. That's mainly what happens. So, Shannon, to help you, I guess this is how I would do what you're asking for. The ability that you have with this is the fact that you can really easily go here and say like change the like content, but by doing so, like if it's a short subject, you have a lot of white space, and it looks like trash. So yeah. Otherwise, if for some reason at some point you decided to say, you know what, maybe it could be interesting to, I don't know, invest in a PC. Like this is on PC. So in here, let's going for Mark because that's where I'm good at things. And then, right, if you get a PC, like this is on PC, is where things are, and then you just add a background and you define that your background is, I don't know, red, and I guess that's what you wanted to do, right?
Do not fear me, Gypsy. All I want from you is your tears. Please give them to me or I will take them.
I guess that's what you want to have, right? So yeah, like specifically, if I'm correcting myself a tad, you want specifically this, right? The fact that it is resizing itself. So that is the way of PC. And you don't really have this option on OBS Mac, sadly. So, I'm sorry. Sorry. You can find a PC for like £800, probably, which would do anything you want. But the other option is to go full on SK style, creating a bot for yourself, having the ability to use a command to update a specific type of text inside of an overlay, which is pretty easy, right? But I guess that would be much better in terms of how you do things. So if you have the ability, I forgot how exactly, but I know that you have the ability to create a specific command that would impact something in your overlay, specifically on Stream Element. And so good choice of emotes. And so you would potentially be able to do like a slash topic and then type something and it would update the topic. I'm thinking StreamerBot, sadly. Right now, so that's a very different topic, but that's an important topic as well. Coinbase right now is under fire because it's going down in terms of policies. A lot of people, which I knew that when I signed up, but everything that you put inside of Coinbase is not your own. It's not really a bank. It's not a wallet per se. It's like you are lending them your crypto and your money. And if they go bankrupt, they will take and keep everything. And there has been rumors of them potentially going bankrupt in the next month for some reason. So a lot of people are like withdrawing all of their crypto and all of their cash from Coinbase, which the more that happens, the more bankrupt option might happen. So that's annoying. So that's why, like, currently Coinbase, I don't exactly know if I would recommend it. I still recommend it because it's really useful, specifically for people in Europe and all that. But because you don't really own anything that you put inside of their platform, and you validate that with them when you sign the contract, like the terms of services. Yeah. So if Kraken is something that is good for you, do that. If you trust your Chrome extension and your browsing habits, use MetaMask. It's good enough. But yeah, if Kraken is giving you the ability to MetaMask to host or store your crypto, otherwise difficult. And then still, as I said before, but these, like, really kind of the best thing right now, because anything that I have on here is like not linked to anything, and I'm fine with it. Yeah, I know. But if you buy on Coinbase and then you move, you have like a $300 fee, depending on the amount, of course. But like, if the amount is like good enough, like you have a fucking high fee, so that's no good. That is no good. So, clicked on the wrong button. I still have this. I don't have this. Damn it. Yeah, no, I know that's a big number, but still, it's a deterrent to avoid people to like move things around. So then, Shannon, something that I wanted to send you as well. You can take a screenshot of that. It will be in the article at some point. But this is my naming convention for my layers inside of OBS. So basically, what's happening is every time you add a new source, right, it just gives you a generic, basic, yeah. I mean, you should have screenshotted it. Like this is a free resource, right? It's not it's not coming from me or anything. So yeah, every time you start like a new source, it gives you like a basic thing. And so if you already have, let's say, add a color source, right? And I said, okay, I'm gonna add another color source. It will just add a number. And so let's say you need to have like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different text layers. You end up with things that are called texts, parentheses, free type 2 parentheses, specifically on Mac, on PCs like GDI plus, and it makes no sense, and you can't like really move around and understand what you're touching or not touching or looking for or everything. So the basic thing that I'm doing is what type is it, and then what is it. So I'm still renaming my layers, and I'm more consistent in naming my layers on OBS rather than Figma. So go figure. I know. So the basic thing is I ordered them by alphabetical order right there. So everything that is audio related is an A, right? So bracket is what is recommended because we usually don't use brackets. And so it looks like, can I zoom on that? Yes, I can. It looks like this, right? So when I'm looking at Silas, welcome on in. I see. Really angry at John. I see. So it looks like this, right? And right now it doesn't look like much, but you have like captures, browser source, nested things, which is not listed here, but it is here. And then in the source department, you have the same thing, right? Everything that would be nested has this N in the beginning, and then the other one sources don't. So that's a tiny difference. So the basic is here. I'm using the base letter or the base letters of the element type to name them in front so that you know what type of things you are playing with, and then I'm just naming them properly. So any image that is related to something specific, like the follower wafer, is called follower background, right? That's the IMG and then follower background. And so I'm trying to name them properly inside of Figma directly, and then I just move them like with a drag and drop from a file to OBS because that works. I think I can move them from OBS, from Figma to OBS directly if I do a command option or command shift C, like copy as a PNG. I think it works as well, but unsure. So this is my recommendation here. And I just talked about N, which is nested scenes. And so what happened is you can use, because you are a designer, you can understand that very easily. A nested scene is basically a main component. And so you have your elements, so nested or widget, that's how I name them. So it's either an N or W, is a scene that is specific to something that will be reused across multiple other scenes. So the followers wafer, for example, my dock is something that is reused. And so if I switch scene, you can see that the wafer has just moved in, and the dock is still at the same place, right? So if I move to the PC, you can see that the wafer is going across the screen, and all that things are like happening. The daily follower count, by the way, thank you for the 2 who followed today. If you're here and you enjoy the stream, please feel free to click the follow button. It'd be neat. This is a very specific widget or nested scenes, and so it's just one place that I showed you earlier, right? This no sound here. This entire scene, right? That's an entire scene with just the follower count. That is my place to have every update, changes, anything related to that specific widget. The dock also has like an entire scene. And then I just use them separately across everything. What is that? Aiden. Yeah. That's PayPal stuff. Sorry about that. So, Aiden, you will find a way. You will find a way. So when you're looking at my scene and sources collection, most of the things that I have are nested. So my alerts, Melly, that's mainly for you. The alerts are always on top, and so everything that is alert related or that will always be visible. So like everything related to my let's trigger fake alert, like this one.
Drive KW is now following.
Right? So my emotes are on top of everything, and so if I change scene, the emotes are still going, right? That's the main goal of these alerts on top of everything, because I'm using move transition is staying in the same place. If you were using like a fade transition, it will be the same. But that's the use case, and so inside of the alert scene, I have anything related to alert, but also effects that I want to have. So the entire panel at the bottom right, that's just popping in, the green thing, is in this specific scene. The drop zone of myself as a 3D avatar right here, that is coming from the top and like just falling down. This is nested inside of this alert scene. So all of these things that will be reused in a specific, like in all of my scenes, is in a specific nested scene. I don't know if that makes sense. I said nested scene a lot in the past minute. So when you look at my sources, I have like a nested alert thing, a nested timer, background for my timer, which could be linked, my browser source, camera, capture, so C for capture and camera, capture of my display, and then nested for my audio. So any audio related things are in a specific scene, and then I just nest this specific scene in all of my other scenes, giving me the ability to just add or remove any audio things easily. Nino, hi, welcome on in. So for example, if I go here, I'm in the audio scene, which is black, and you can still hear me compared to the other ones. Have a good call. Have a good call. Nino, how are you? How was your week? How was your weekend? It's Monday, I guess. I guess it's Monday. I forgot about that. I hope you're good. So all of these are just nested inside of my main scene, right? updating a website. That's something that needs to be done from time to time. I still need to finish mine, but I have the lazy. That's what happens. So, basically, I guess I was saying nested and shit, and you couldn't see that. I'm sorry. So what you can see here is that my audio in my scene collection is like reused here, my background is reused here, my timer is reused here, my alerts is reused here, all that. So the naming convention with the brackets is really useful to know what type of thing you are editing or trying to see, remove, add, re-edit, all that shit. Hope that helps. And then the next phase on all of that are the plugins, but also the externals, things that you can use. So, for example, the colored shadow, can't really, that is just beneath my camera, right? Right now it's like more of a highlight than a shadow, but yeah, is triggered by a filter that is, I guess, a native filter of OBS, which is a color correction, like a chroma color correction filter. It works just by cycling through it. So far, so good. The switch of theme that I just did, right, having the dock being black instead of white, that's a thing that is handled by StreamerBot, which is another program that I use on the side. StreamerBot is like triggering or triggered and then triggers some things like the wafer rotation or the alerts panel coming up, the 3D me falling from the sky. All that shit is StreamerBot related. So right now, if I trigger a fake follow, or if someone wants to follow, please do that. I have this highlight, this panel, and this thing, plus the rotation here. All of that is enabled by StreamerBot because it's like listening to what's happening on OBS and on Twitch at the same time, basically. But that's Windows only, I'm sorry. Really, for anyone who is on Windows and who stream, I really recommend you to use StreamerBot if you can manage to understand it. It's a pretty ugly overall app. It looks not so good, but it's very useful and very usable. It just has been designed by a dev that is not a designer, so it's like function of a form, which is great, right? It works. That's all we wanted to do. We need it to work. It works. It's function of a form, which is good. It's a good thing. I can't deny that. It's just let's say it's system form. It's Windows 95 form of a function. Half of the time. It looks like trash. But it's really good. And then all the plugins that I'm using, so shader filter that give me the ability to have like this rounded corners right there, this rounded corners right here. Move transition, which give me the ability to change my camera shape, and also have these smooth transition in between scenes. All that is handled by plugins, and in a way, move transition has like a filter, and hidden. What's that? Where did you buy your crypto? Did you just went to a hacked website and just tried to buy something? Ah. Oh yeah, I saw your tweet about that, like 40%. Is the flat better? I don't know, I never used that, Aiden. So, using 40% of your income, that's a big ass derail. Let's talk about that. That's interesting. Um, oh yeah, so it's almost a doubling the size and things. So, huh? It looks better on paper. Do you use, like you're currently at 25% of your salary, are you using the 75% of your salary on something else every month? Or are you just using 50% of your salary every month? Like the remaining 50%, I mean, not. You get what I mean? Because the question for me to you is basically, if you can afford it and it's a better place and you will be better there, I guess. Yeah. So you've been used to saving money for the past 3 years, which is a good thing. Good job. And then now you're like, you know what? Maybe I can afford to pay a bit more in rent to be in a better place and still save, but I will save a bit less than usual. So if you have if your expenses, your regular expenses, don't go above 50% of your entire salary, then if you go to 40%, yeah, that's my brain math is just, I have a salary of 100%. If I'm usually eating 60% of my salary per month with expenses without counting rent, then the 40% that are left are basically available for rent, right? If I'm just spending 40% of my salary, I potentially have 60% available for rent, right? Best not to do that, but it's available. You can do whatever you want with it. So if you say you're usually spending 50% or 40% of your usual salary, then you potentially have a 40% cut off your salary for rent rather than the 25%. It's just a jump in how much you can save per month, but you won't be broke not being able to eat just because you choose a higher paying rent, right? So I guess that's a good idea. You could also just work full time. That's true. That is true. Well, Uncle, welcome on in. Welcome on in. How are you? I was surprised by the emotes for a second. I'm good. I'm tired. I'm sure you can see the tiredness in my face, but I'm good. I'm pretty good. We are working on a bit of OBS thingy, unless you've been here for a while and lurking as usual, which I appreciate. But yeah, then Nino had a question about rent expenses, which makes sense. Just for the rent talk, yeah, good. I appreciate that then. Even it's the same. It is the same. What? These? Yes, these. Danilo, I hope that helps. Maybe. Give you an idea of things that you can or can't do. And for anyone else who's here, I guess this is the screenshot you need until I make the article available for all, right? That's the fuck is that shit? That's the screenshot you need. So these plugins that I kind of recommend you to have on OBS, and then your names, layer names, will help you to organize everything in your OBS system. But quick reminder, right? Something not right happened right there. You can click on the first link. It's not the right one, but it's the right one. Where you are? Sorry. You there? You dumb fuck. Sorry. That's the button I was supposed to press. So, clean slate. At the bottom, we have the first link. It's available now. I finally worked on making it available. So it's currently sitting at $2 because it's the first one, and I want it to be as reachable as possible, right? And so in Slate Zero, which is what you get if you decide to buy it, you get exactly, one second, exactly this. I might break a bit. Not really. Okay, good. So, Slate Zero. I should zoom in. I don't really give a shit right now. Let's zoom in. So you get these. It's really zoomed in though. You get that. You get this OBS install, which is a clean OBS install that you can use anywhere you want as long as you're on PC. I'm sorry about that, but as long as you're on PC, which gives you the ability to have a starting screen, a main stage, so a chatting screen, a working space, which currently is a bit fucked, but that's because screen sizes and all that. The ability to move your camera from one side to the other, a BRB screen, and an ending screen, right? So far, so good. As you can see, the starting, BRB, and ending are basically the same scene, just the image that goes on top is replaced. Right, that's the big thing. And so, as I said, you have your nested elements like the alerts, which I guess I need to move a bit here so you can see more of that. So like the alerts, the sound mixer, which is composed of Spotify, the mic, the browser sources, the browser sound, sorry. The backgrounds, if you wanted to have like a different background, you can easily switch from the background that I have, which all of these are just Unsplash images. Doc, which is at the top, but basically is the thing that is at the bottom of each scene. And then the chat columns the reasoning behind having them in separated scenes is because they are browser sources on top of backgrounds, and so in order to have them easily movable and editable, I wanted to have like a quick access of each of them. And so I just decided to have the browser source for the doc and the browser source for the column to be present, like separated, and then they will just move away when we don't need them and come back when we need them. So far, so good. So that's what you get in Clean Slate 0 or 000, which is $2 currently, extremely cheap. But as soon as you get these ones, you will then have access, have an easier time to get access to the other ones that will come later. So for now, that's our base, that's where we are seated. It's a pretty easy and simple to understand, like, overall thing, but I don't want to bump the price to 5 to 10. Nope. And also, welcome on in, Tengora. So the reason behind the pricing model that I have for these ones is I am, like, even though it's the first one and it took the most amount of time and everything, most of the things that are inside are free stuff, right? So you get OBS, which is a free software. You get plugins for OBS, which are free and available, like at the Google search if you wanted to search for things. The only thing that is not free is the amount of time that I put in to create the layout. And I basically reused the layout that I already had on stream. So I'm not comfortable selling something that is open source and available for free everywhere. Like, it feels, ethically speaking, not right to resell something that is absolutely free. But so that's the reasoning behind the first one being so cheap. If I could have it free, like entirely free, I would. But yes. Feel free to do like a suggestion or anything. I want to know. But yeah, if I could make it free, it would be free. Just because the file is like 500 megabytes, I can't put it for free. In order to have it free, I need to have the file be less than 200 megabytes, and OBS itself is like 300 and something, so I couldn't possibly have this work as I wanted to. And so I guess the only one of the options for me would be that's true. That is a good point. That is a good point. I could do some screenshots. Yeah. I guess what I want to have is a video presentation of it. So what I just did right now might be something that can go as a video presentation. But yeah, screenshot could also work a bit better because it's faster to load rather than a video. I may do that. But yeah, no, video is even better because you get the transition and the plugins that are used visually, all that. So I guess it's a bit better. So yeah, but the pricing, if it could be free, it would be free. But because I want to have everything on Gumroad, I'm thinking about it right now. I could have it for free. I mean, it's almost free because there is like a 50% discount for anyone who is part of the Discord. You have like a code in there that give you like 50% off. So if you're not in the Discord, that's your cue to join. But yeah, no, it's like it should be free, and then the other ones would be around 20, like 15 to 20, and they will contain mainly just like an asset file and the scene collection. Yeah, I really want to have it like free, but it's just Gumroad doesn't allow that. So I kind of need to have like a hosting somewhere where it would be available. I will make it available in the Discord for free in one of the channels. Channels, yes. I don't know which one yet. But yeah, that will be happening. I think that would be better, just to get it rid of. Get it for $2 on Gumroad. If you want to give money for it, you can. Like Kane did, bought it for $5 instead of $2, without even using the discount code, which make it like $1. It's like just symbolic things, and also it's just Gumroad thing that don't allow me to do that. But yeah, but then the other one, you get like more complex things with more plugins, more scripts, more interactions, more scenes, streamer supports, other things, right? Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of free stuff, but it's just pre-made, so that's useful, I guess. Neptune, welcome on in. How are you? How is your day going? Yes. Aiden, of course. Teams is not good. Microsoft Teams is absolutely no good, but we need it for work, at work. So usually we tend to push the clients to use something else, but some of them don't want to, so we need to, right? It's oh no, it sucks, and I'm like pushing every fucking client to move away from Teams, but they're all like, yeah, but incorporate then the direction, and my boss doesn't want to move away from Teams because they have everything set up there, which makes sense, right? So at some point, big corporation will understand how things needs to be. I mean, Office is fine. Office 360 is fine, but just yeah, I don't really know how I can explain it. Good. By the way, Neptune, if you want, as I think I said that last time, but if you want me to take a look at it, I'd be happy to. I'll be happy to, of course. So yeah, so I did a thing earlier, which is creating the documentation of how to have your Slate run, right? And so right now what we have is I renamed the PowerShell script to right-click run with PowerShell because that makes a lot of sense. at least to me, right? The script is named on how you need to do the thing, and then each of these PDFs are named with a number, and that number will just give you. So I can get rid of that. Oh yeah, shit. Just was surprised by the thing. Not Slate. Not Slate. Where you at? Far away, right? There. Damn it. Um. No. Sorry. I'm just. Damn. Give you this. Yeah, I'm just dumb right now. That the tiredness is just kicking in. So in the readmes, I just reordered the thing, and I don't even know if you can see. You know that if you're on mobile, you probably can't see shit. But right, that's one way to do it. At least I can zoom on stuff. So I have like the scripts, which is the base one, the Google Drive if the script didn't work, manual if you want to do the thing in manually, which basically for anyone who is working with a Mac, manual is what you need to do in a way. So in manual you have like to like edit some things and relink your sources, relink the filters and scripts and all that. So that takes a lot of time. That's manual. Basically, that's what you need to do if you're on a Mac. And then links and the Figma file, which I guess I need to explain what the Figma file is. That's one update that I haven't done. Links are just links to the plugin themselves. That fucking music is not good. Voicing like doesn't work. So yeah, all these are just links to the plugins that I use inside of the Slate. Most of them, they are like a lot of different things, but yeah. Sorry, I'm rereading chat. So that's pretty useful if you want to read documentation and everything. And then I really need to explain what a Figma file is, because I'm thinking someone who is not a designer who has a .fig file probably doesn't know what it is and how to use it. So it may be really useful to get. Tencent? Tanya, hi. Welcome on in. How are you? How have you been? It's been a while. I hope you're good. All these things. You mean Tencent? As in one word. Thank you. They are purple today, they are not white. But yeah. They don't. They did the same thing as Google, Aiden. I'm standing my ground on that. They are not better or worse than Google. How has been work? Last time you were trying to figure out some process thingy, if I remember correctly. And then you went on vacation, and then you came back, and then you disappeared. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I mean, I don't need to know, but I'd like to know. I'd like to know. So yeah, so this thing, kind of useless. I think maybe in these script thingy I could re-explain, or not re-explain, like if that doesn't work, go to Google Drive. If you don't use Google Drive, go to manual. And by the way, you have the Stream Deck profile, but also a Figma file, aka Figma file is a free design tool that gives you access to all the assets. I think that's what I need to write, but I didn't. You're telling me, since the last time I've seen you, and we talked about making your process better, you're still figuring out the process? Damn it. Damn it. What am I doing? How am I helping if you're telling me this? No good. No good. Ah, it's a different process. Okay, so that's good. I'm fine with that. It should replace... Oh, okay. It's fine. You're using, I guess, G Drive, or yeah, Google Drive. You can go to, you can read. 50% hidden. It's either open or not. If that didn't work and you are using Google Drive, please read. What's the fucking name? Oh shit, it's in here. Read O2. I should just rename that. Damn it, if you don't use G Drive, go read O3. Damn it. I guess, because it worked. You want to cause corporate hell for them? Why? 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 Did it work at some? I have like a memory of you telling me that it worked, and I don't know if it's true or not. I don't remember. I don't remember. Have a .fig file. This is a Figma file. How can I explain that? Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, so it worked at some point, but it doesn't work now because UK. Good. So in the README folder, you also have a .fig file. This is a Figma file. That be opened by, you guessed it, Figma, right? Oh, interesting. Interesting. So that's fucking up with. Oh no, it still works. It's just not visible. Yeah. Interesting. Shit happens. Yes. That is the goal. That is the goal. It hasn't been reached once. But, I mean, with people who wants me to buy followers, then potentially could work. But nah. Not buying followers. I want them organically. I mean, we used to be at 20 and we didn't reach 20, so I said, okay, so in order to have it like kind of more fun, I think 69 would be just funnier. If we reach 69 followers per day, that's pretty cool. I like that. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I also have a Figma, a .fig file. This is a Figma file that can be opened by, you guessed it, Figma, right? The nudes channel, yes. I haven't posted in a bit. I have like saved some things that I haven't posted yet. I have like a big ass. You can't see shit. You won't see shit. Big ass pasta bowl that I ate like on Tuesday, and then I did another big ass pasta bowl that I wanted to post, but I didn't, which right now doesn't look like much. But then I added the pasta, and it looks pretty cool. And then on top of that, I have a salmon thingy. It was pretty cool, pretty good. And some of my, I think that was 2 days ago. Saturday, yes, 2 days ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago. 2 big ass cakes. They were a bit too big for me. And if I'm saying that, that's saying a lot of shit. I also have something that I didn't share at all, which is these pictures, which are at the hairdresser, the transformation from bleaching to first bleach to second bleach to third bleach that you probably can't see shit right now. Yeah. And then the effect that was my hair on the bicolor thingy. Specifically the sides were pretty interesting. And then after that, more bleach. And I ended up like this, which was pretty fun. And then after that, toning, and then what I have now. And I kind of wanted to have like a fully, I think like this. And like a GIF or something of this picture. I guess there will be at some point somewhere. I don't know. I just want to create things. But yeah, if you haven't seen Tanya, by the way, we changed the emotes again. Went back to the white hair. There are still some of them that are using like the dark hair for some reason. I don't know why, but like in my chat they are not, in the doc they are. So like this one here, right? This one is still brown hair, even though on chat it's not, for me at least. So I don't know. I don't know. Yes, the eyes are the most the most used, I guess, right now. Do I really need to explain through your browser? Get rid of vector and make it. It's a free vector-based app that can be accessed through your browser. And this file contains all the assets used in your Slate, I guess. I guess I need to rephrase this, but I don't know how. You know what? If I was to start, damn it, you also have a Figma file, and then here I can just .fig, and then Figma is a free vector-based app that can be accessed through your browser. And this specific file, or this file, contains all the assets for your Slate. Welcome. You want to test everything now? I guess the highlight my message, I like the highlight of the camera. That's pretty cool. Also, I know that no one understands HMM as highlight my message, but I think it's fun. I'd say that's okay, right? So it should replace the directory. If that didn't work, you get to use Google Drive, or if you don't use Google Drive, use manual. Thank you. That's still haven't changed. No, don't let me work. I need a... I can't work on that if I'm not distracted with something else. Like my brain, specifically because it's writing content, it's so fucking hard. I need to either be extremely focused on it, in which case I can't be streaming at the same time, or be distracted and do it at the same time because brain is then distracted to not be focused. Brain is weird. Brain is weird. If you... Scott? I see. You arrived late. KDJ, hi. Welcome on in. Thank you for the potato. How are you? On that fine Monday. How was your weekend? Do you want a pizza, Scott? That's what you're saying? I get it. I get it. Oh yeah, no, I can't. That doesn't work. Sorry. That potato. I might not have. Forget about it. So if you don't use Google Drive, or if you're on a Mac, go read manual. Yeah. Did you go for OK? OK, sorry. OK. Did you try that? They don't have like KYC or anything. And you can... We talked about it a long time ago. They're pretty cool. And I think you can buy things, right? I think. I just haven't used it yet. So I don't fucking know. But I think they have a thing. Yes. Not .io, .com. I mean .io/home. No, .com. What you mean, Scott? Who's on the top left? Who's on the top left of the screen? What do you mean? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about right there. What happened? You know, Aiden, be careful, please. Be careful where you go. OK.com, which I guess these ones are just... Maybe they reversed the thing? Makes no sense, but yeah. And Binance, you can't do Binance? I forgot. The eyes. The eyes are dying. My eyes are dying. I'm too tired. It makes sense. Binance is blocked? Yeah, well. I think you just need to open a bank account somewhere not in the UK, right? Like, just open a bank account with something else, or use your PayPal account to buy things. Sometimes it works. Not money laundering, just placement. Like, if I have news about borders reopening, I will have to open a bank account in Japan. So I will have a bank account in Japan. That works. So do that. So I guess N26, but you can go with Monzo or Revolut. They are all good, most likely. Most likely. So let me do the README here. I can replace that. I think I will need to zip it again. You have these ones, which is pretty cool. And you have these ones, which is pretty cool as well. And I mean, yeah. Sorry, I like it. But maybe Revolut works as well. Revolut it's basically the same thing as N26, but just with another branding. It's pretty cool. The card is looking pretty good as well, even though we don't give a shit about that, most likely, but I like it. And the design is pretty nice. So Revolut works, and then Monzo is the other one that is also recommended. Most of these cards, so N26, Revolut, and Monzo, are 3 cards that are basically made for travelers. And the reason why I'm on there is because they have the least amount of fees abroad. Like my French bank, when I went to Italy, which is close by and like in the EU zone, like using euro, I could use my card on 2 ATMs for the whole trip, and I didn't know that. It's like, it was trash. So my French cards, but my N26 cards could be used anyway. That was no issue. So yeah, I don't know. The Monzo looks like trash in terms of app, or at least on the website, compared to Revolut. Revolut is pretty clean, and as you saw earlier, there were UK thing at the top. But go into Portugal. Mail, are you still here? Portugal is accessible, right? But no, yeah, I don't know. Like, you have these. The basic plan is free, which I think is great. And then the not basic plan is like $2.99 per month, which is nothing. And then premium is $8. And then metal, if you want to pay like $14 per month to just have a metal card, do that. But you don't really get like really interesting things. But yeah, you get that, for example. Very interesting. Cashback is a pretty interesting thing that we don't have in Europe. That is a very American thing in my head, but makes not a lot of sense. But makes a lot of sense. So we'll see what is recommended. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still thinking.
Womp womp. 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 Womp womp.
That is loud.
Womp womp. Womp womp.
I mean, loud on my side, not on your side, sadly. That's the womp womp. That's womp womp. No, it sounds fine. It sounds a tad bit low in my views. I guess if I were to move it to like here. Not this one, sorry. Like
Bad, Aoa, bad.
it's a bit better, right? It's a bit higher. Not exactly good, but a bit higher. And then if I go to
What is? Oh my God! It's the
yeah.
It's the bear.
I guess that's okay. I'm sorry. And yeah, most of them are random, so you have like a set of things. I have saved more womp womps, but I can't extract the video from TikTok, so I need to find a way to extract the video, which is just annoying. Just about annoying. So we'll see. We will see. GIFs disappeared. They were replaced by stream stickers, which you can see here. So do you wanna hear my views? The update is okay. I have to say that. The update is pretty cool. Like, we have most of the things that we've been asking for, right? So we now have dark mode. If you haven't seen that, that's here. The way to have it is to go into the Figma icon, which is right behind my head. Go into preferences and then theme, and then you have light, dark, right? And so you decide which one you want. If you have a computer that like cycles through light theme and dark theme depending on the time of day, you can go with system if that works for you. I don't like to have things change on me while I'm working. That makes no sense. So I prefer to just get that. And no, they are not amazing. There are some news that are interesting. So, for example, the viable font support is great. That's something that we've been asking for a bit of time. For a bit of time. For as long as we have known about viable fonts were a thing, right? That's the reality. So the fact that we have so much like support for viable fonts is pretty great, and everything that they installed inside of it is a great addition. Then what I would say is everything that is related to the new auto layout features. See how important it is? Everything that is related to the new auto layout features of visually seeing the spacing of your auto layout thing right inside of the Canva, and then clicking on any of them, giving you the ability to just easily type the amount that you need at any given point. I think that's a pretty cool thing. The fact that you have the same thing on your padding, if you wanted to have like more or less padding inside of something, you could. This one is set to fill, so I can't push the padding out, but right, potentially I could. The fact that you can now have these separated in a bit of a better UI overall, because I could easily say 8,24 and it will do 824, right? That's to me is more like a dev behavior, which makes a bit of sense. And then what I love about what Figma did is these previews of how the thing will behave. Like, that's just great. The only thing that I would love for them to do is to have the same thing for vertical based auto layout, because right now they're just showcasing like horizontal based auto layout, which kind of makes sense because you usually use space between for horizontal based, but not vertical base. And then you have stroke if you want to include it or not include it in your auto layout frame, meaning that basically if you include it you behave like code, if you don't include it you behave like design work. So yeah, and then you have the first on top, last on top, pretty useful. And then yes, the hyphening of the text, if you needed that, that's pretty cool. But also it's the layer are not really in the right order. They don't change. I don't know if you've seen that. Like if I have, like right now they are aligned this way, but if I were to decide that it's not last on top, it's first on top, it doesn't change the values here. So I could potentially reverse orders and it still works. Like it doesn't, I mean, it's in the right order, but it's not in the right order. It's just weird. So everything auto layout related is great, right? Everything auto layout related is great. Everything dark mode related is great. The fact that now you also have this ability to put something in a, how can I say that? In absolute positioning, that's great. But my biggest thing that I had a rant about it I had an highlight video made that was posted on YouTube yesterday, or this at noon today. My biggest pet peeve, and I'm still using the same file to like showcase that. The component props are mostly good, but then there is one that is extremely trash. So let's do that. Individual border is pretty cool, but that's like Fjorwitcher and things that we've been asking for, and they should have had that for the longest time. So in the newest version of components, you now have properties, which basically you had properties before, and now they are just called properties. Same shit. But you get some Boolean properties that are pretty interesting and pretty cool. Like, for example, I had a Boolean property on these things that is just added to the show hide elements, and I added the same property here, right? Meaning that if I'm on a component, I can show or hide the labels, right? That's pretty cool. The yellow here doesn't help in the readability of anything, but yeah, like this thing is no, the text thing doesn't exactly work as expected. You need to resize by hand your text layer to make it the height that you want it to be, which is pretty cool, but it doesn't work exactly as expected, if that's what text you were talking about. But so the show hide thing is great. The fact that you can select different instances and you have a text-based thing, and you can change the text of multiple things on the fly, right? And it changes immediately for everything. That's great. So let's say you have this specific property that is available on buttons, and you had a button that said download, and now it needs to say export, and you have 69 screens where it should say export, right? Well, you now need to select everything and change the text for everything. If you have this property, you just select all of them, and then you change the text, and it's changed everywhere. So that's a great feature. So if you command click into the text, I can still, yes, override, if that's what you say. You don't need to command click, you can just double click the thing. It still works. But it's really useful if you need to quickly edit like a lot of things, right? So as far as component props, that's it. Like, after that we're good. Like, we don't have more things that are good. Like, everything else is just trash. Are you ready for that? So, the most hyped property that they introduced to us is the instance swap property. And so the instance swap property, the one that I'm presenting all the time, is the icon swap. Right now I have an icon that is a calendar. Let's say I want it to be something else, right? I want it to be one of my other icons, and let's say this one is the download from cloud thing. So right now, if you are like me, if you have an icon, most of the time your colors overrides are not taken into consideration when you are overriding an icon, so, or swapping an icon, component type icon. So now I have the thing that is selected, and I just go back here, select my light color, white, it's fine, we're good. So far so good, right? In an instance, I can go here, I select my thing, I go into my component override, and then because it's selected, we're good, nothing to see. But let's say you have like an instance swap for the alerts that needs to be here, right? The alerts, the icon that needs to be here. So right now I'm selecting another icon, and because it changes in color, right? The behavior is just to go into the selection color and change the black one to light. So far, so good. It looks good, but because it's in an instance swap, and because I have my entire component selected, my text also changed because it's not the right selection. Meaning that the text that is here and the text that is here has been changed to dark. So in order to have my icon specifically change color, I need to go back in, select my icon, and then change its color, right? So that's usually what we were used to do, so I'm not really against it. But now, as you can see, I have selected the fucking icon, but because it had an instant swap available, I can't swap the icon manually. I can't do the same thing that I did here. I can't do that and just swap the icon for something else, just change its color. If I have an icon that has like a component swap props that is linked to it, I can't swap it anymore. So that's the first thing. Second thing, let's say in my instance, I have another thing for my button. My button right now has an icon. And I want the button that is similar to this one, right? With no icon. So I will go into my instance swap, but because it's an instance swap, it's taking main components swaps, not variance swap. So I can only swap it with another component that is on the same page or wherever it is, right? So it's kind of useless, and the way to have the icon go away is to select the instance and then just get rid of the type. So basically, the instance swap doesn't work for variants of a main component. It's only swap in between mains. So if you want to have instance swap in a component, you need to devariantize your variant groups if they need to be specific, like switching from a button with an icon without an icon, on the left, on the right, everything, they need to be on a very, very specific not variant groups selection, right? So that's so far inside of an instance, but, and that's where I'm like heated so much, and I hate this fucking like feature. I'm here with my instance swap thingy in my main component. Let's say I want to change the icon.
To instill as much fear as I can, as if basting a turkey, which I will then proceed to have sex with. That's right, I'm going to fuck the fear turkey.
All right. Thank you for that. So if I'm here, right, I have my icon selected because it has an instance swap property linked to it. I can't even swap the fucking icon as a base, right? So it's the same thing as inside of the instance. In a way, inside of the instance, not being able to select the thing and swapping it directly because it has the instant swap option, I kind of get it. But in the main component, not giving me the ability to change the icon I want after I set up my thing makes absolutely no sense. I should be able to like click on that and swap for something else. So the thing is, if you wanted to have, I don't know, something a bit different, a different icon here, you need to unlink your property, then go in, select the icon that you need to have. So let's say it's this one, do the thing because of the color thingy, right? And then re-enable your instant swap. But I have my instant swap that is here, which was previously set for that specific icon. What happens if I click on it? It goes back to the previous icon that I just removed because that's not the one that I wanted. That makes absolutely no sense. So in order to have this working, you need to, oh shit, I made a mistake. I did a command W, not a command Z. Oh, I'm so dumb. In order to have your thing work right here, you need to swap the icon you wanted, right, for another one. And then if you want to have the instant swap anyway, you need to add a new instant swap property, which makes absolutely no sense. This is, I have no understanding on how they could have said, we have the best new thing for like 15 minutes on stage, and then it's that trash. Like, it makes no sense. Instant swap sounds like you will be able to swap instances. So you are thinking it works with variant groups. It doesn't. You are thinking you will be able to swap by selecting it. You can't. You are thinking that you could be able to swap your icon in your main component. You can't. Makes no fucking sense. Just so in terms of when you are like me, for example, you have not that you have like components that are preset with let's say with specific icons, and also I have like a base icon which we usually use as a default like placeholder for icons. If you are working like this, it makes sense, right? Because you will probably never change your placeholder icon with something else. Like, that makes sense. but the fact that if I enable the thing, I have the inability to just select the thing and swap it, it's blowing my mind. The fact that if I'm using like a specific component that has like a sub-level of variant groups inside of it, right? I can't swap them inside of it. That makes no sense to me. And so there are things that that are great. The newest like visibility swap that we enable on these ones, that's great. Like, we fixed these models yesterday? No, on Friday. And so now I can like get rid of the description, get rid of the first input, get rid of the second input only, re-add the description, that's really good, right? That's really easy. And then, as you can see, if I'm in a structure model, I have a 1 column or 2 column that my props for this specific type. If I'm in the center things, that that makes sense. Like I don't have any props. If I'm in the base, I have all the props. So that makes sense, right? Yeah. Damn it, CK. I am so unaware of your colors. Your color change. It's One thing that I would say I don't like about the new thing is this. If I'm hovering a specific props, it's highlighting the lines on my components, right? So that's no good. I want to see the thing as it is. So, like, if it's not enable, I would like. Go red. Oh no, if you red, you Scott. Yeah, damn. Go like me. Install 7TV and have like a rainbow gradient thing on your name. Looks better. So yeah, I don't really like the preview of the thing on while hovering if the props is disabled. I guess I would prefer it to be not visible if the props is disabled, but still have the highlight of which specific one I'm about to disable, right? If it's not named properly, right? If I had like second input and first input swapped, for example, it would help. But I don't like that, and I don't like that because right now I'm hovering first input, and it looks like it's the same. So that makes no sense, right? So yeah, this feature of Boolean visibility of anything in a component, that's great. But the instance swap, I mean, we rent every, like we've been renting about it since they announced it. I checked it on the day and I was like, this is trash. This is useless. Don't use it. But in order of different things, on Friday we reversed or like updated everything on most of the thing on the community style guide, and I'm still finishing the input fields because they need a lot of work. We removed a ton of unnecessary clutter. So this one, I guess, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. The model title had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had 6 per style, and now we just have 1 per style. And the 1 per style just gives us the ability to just get rid of the icon, get rid or add actions if we have actions, make it closable, not closable, all that shit. And so that's pretty neat. But right, that's something that we didn't like. That's the ability of Boolean visibility. And then the text thingy, I didn't enable it, but it could be enabled very easily, right? If I selected these things, could be great. One thing that I want them to add inside of the props edit is if I select a group and another group that has the exact same properties, like the exact same properties, I want to be able to edit my props for everything at the same time. Like I want to have this and this selected and be able to swap my props. Like it, even though they are mixed, they have the exact same properties, and I feel like Figma shouldn't be dumb enough or too dumb to no, the one thing that I don't like about the component props is just the instant swap. And then there are improvements, but the main thing is just instant swap is trash. The rest is great. The rest is great. The other props that are available, like the props of text is good, the props of visibility is good. I'm thinking it could be great if for some reason they decided to have a color swap. What do you mean? What do you mean I removed the best redeem of all? On which one? This one? It's still there. It's still available. I don't understand. Like, you still have the ability. Since I said it has been updated, I haven't been doing anything. See? That exists. Has been here the whole time. It's the only difference now compared to before. I removed the 3 pull-ups and I removed the cooldown and the max amount per stream. So before that we had 2 3 pull-ups and 2 2 pull-ups max per stream with a cooldown in between of 30 minutes. Now we have 2 pull-ups, unlimited time, and the cooldown in between is just 10 minutes. So you can make me do 2 pull-ups every 10 minutes, and you can decide on the grip if you want to. So that you are gaining more. But since I said that on Discord, you are the first one who used pull-ups. It's, in my views, it's a better deal. In my views, it's a better deal. It's a better deal for me. I'm technically doing more pull-ups, and it's a better deal for you. Like you get the ability to make me do more. I think it's great. I'm biased. I'm debating, like, drawing the price from 32 to 24. But I don't know. I think I'll do that. You know what? Yeah. That makes sense. Alright, it's now 2,400 points instead of 32. So it's even cheaper now than it was before. See, like, it's cheaper. You get more on the hour. Like, you can make me do 12 pull-ups per hour, rather than the previous one who was 10. But you can now make me do 12 pull-ups per hour for as long as I'm streaming. Before it was 10 tops. And most of the time you had Aiden do 3 pull-ups and 2 pull-ups at the same time. And then, because it was just a 2 minutes delay with the second 2 pull-ups, we had 2 minutes later the other 2, so 5, and then nothing. So I don't know, better math in my head. So yeah, and then we changed this tabs navigation thingy with using the border, like uni side border, which is only at the bottom now, rather than having like a rectangle, which I think is better. But it's just a bit annoying that you can't like select the thing. I'm so used to have like a rectangle underneath to define the selection zone that I don't know. Still feel like it's a bit weird, but it's just because I'm not used to it. So that needs to come in. That will take a bit of time, but other than that, we are pretty good. One thing that is weird with if they're not paying you for it, yeah. I mean, I would do it anyway, just because it makes my life easier to just have a clean workspace. But if they are not paying you, I understand. I understand. I guess I took 32. Damn it. What does? Yeah, I was about to say. One of the thing, yeah, one of the things that they expected me to do, and they expect you to do in your buttons instances, is to use the new Boolean props inside of it, right? So what they are expecting is you to do this. Right, they are expecting you to have a button like this and then define the fact that this element can be like disappear. So right icon go away, text can also go away, so the layer visibility can also go away, so text go away, and then your left icon, same thing, right? So left icon move away. And so if you have this, right, so far, if I decide to get rid of the left icon or right icon, I have my button that still works, right? If I get rid of my text, well, I can have a double icon, but I specifically can have just a one icon button, which could be whichever, either the right or the left icon. So far, so good. But my issue with this is this looks like a trash button when I'm comparing it with my button. Extremely biased, as always, but I feel like the one that I have, because I have an uneven spacing or padding on both sides, you get a feeling of this side being a bit crammed and a bit too tight compared to here, where you have visually the same amount of space here, here, and here, which makes it a bit more, I don't know, pleasing, at least to me it is. And so what they are expecting you to do is like basically this, right? They are expecting you to like align center your button and then have like a very, very small spacing in between. What do you mean correct? But yeah, in the presentation, what they used really is this. But also, they used a specific icon, which, oh, by the way, that just happened, was really interesting. Sorry, I just saw something that was not happening before. Really good. Sorry. Let me show you what happened in a second. They were using something similar to this. Basically, they had like a 16 width pix. Like the icon were mainly taking the amount of space that they were supposed to, rather than me having a bounding box of 24 by 24 of a basically 16 by 16 pixel icon. But yeah, it still looks wonky because of my spacing bounding box. If I get rid of it, it's a bit okay. Damn it, I just broke my nose. I mean, not literally, just it cracked. Good. So now I can like basically just go back to 8, and that looks like an OK button, right? If I have the same visual thing. But what happened was really interesting. If I select a component inside of a component, so if I select an instance that is nested inside of an instance, and I do a Command Option B to unlink that instance, it also unlink my main or parent instance. That's something that didn't exist before, or wasn't possible before. So that means if you deep dive into an instance and you want to modify the thing, rather than selecting your instance itself and then unlinking it and then going back down, you can just select anything inside and unlink it. Which I guess, yeah, anything that is an instance. So the text can't be unlinked, but the icon can't. Damn it! Weird. Yeah. Every time I want a bottom border, I keep adding effects. Yes. It's... I guess I will still do the same thing, but yeah. Oh yeah, so he forgot to turn back the light mode. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in the presentation they had a very interesting view of things, which was in these, I don't know if you remember, but they had like both options. If you selected these ones or this one, you had like anything like placed on top, which I like because here I can do comma and then type 24, and then like it seems like it would work. But if you want to do that, you need to go inside of the panel to do 12, 24, and now it works. Which, like, it still shows me that it's not exactly good. But in the presentation, they had the option to say 12, 8, 12, 8 in this thing. And I guess it would be much better if we had the ability to do that. One other thing that I kind of think is interesting is the fact that if you have, like, if you just have one, right, it just take one. But if you have your alt, you have both, and if you do shift at the same time, you just unify your entirety of the thing. So it, like, makes sense, but it makes no sense, right? That's, I don't know, just feel weird. Like, there is so much thing that should work but doesn't. Like right now, I want to be using my nudge amount, but only on the left and right, not on top and bottom at the same time. But I can't. Like, I'm either linking both or getting the nudge amount, or linking all four, but not, like, I can't. I don't know. It's still janky as fuck. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. And the thing that pisses me off is the fact that last time they announced so much stuff, and it was good, and it worked, and I don't remember saying much shit about the update. Like, I did, of course, because that's me, but not as much. Option shift click. Option shift click. No. On that? Oh. Option shift click on the padding. Yeah, sorry. I'm just dumb right now. So now I can say 12,8, 8, not 9, 12,8. Yeah. How? How do you want me to remember this? Like, that should be, I mean, in my views, that should be like, you click once, you click again, you have access to the thing. Or you click with... Oh, so if I click... Okay. So if I click with command, or option, I get from... Let me zoom on that. So if I click once, I have this. If I click with option, I have both. And if I click with option and shift, I have all four. That's a lot of clicks. It's a lot of clicks to remember. So you're telling me if I do 12-24, it does 12-24 for everything. Okay. Which makes no sense. See what just happened? So if I do here and I do 4-20, perfect. I'm expecting 4-20, but if I press enter, I got 24. Why? Like, I get it. It's top, right, bottom, left. That's CSS. On how I like CSS. But in my padding thingy right here, Like I should. Oh, and it doesn't work when you are. Okay, like I should do the same thing. Like it should be if I type 20-4, I said 4. It makes sense here because I'm speaking top, right, bottom, left. That's the logic. It's not like sides and then top and bottom. Like if your CSS values are starting at the bottom, right, it should be the other way. So in here, I expect them to swap, as you said, just the like if you swap 4 here and 20 here, that makes a lot of sense to me. But like that makes no sense. If I come from a dev background, and you tell me that it's like 812 is not 812, but 812, that okay. I don't know. It's just the way that you're placing things. Nonetheless, overall, I'm happy with the spacing thing. That's a good thing. Nope. It's okay. Nope. You can't have a bottom nav with just 2 items. That's useless. Yeah, I mean, let's say, Stacy, hi, well, come on in. Let's say you have this, right, set up, and you are clicking on that. Look at the values. I have 812, 812, and now when I'm reading, I see 12, 8, 12, 8. Just swap these two, like, and I will be happy. But that seems like you are starting with 12 and not 8 when you're looking here, and when you're looking here, you're looking at 8 first, which technically is good because it's 8 is top, but like if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, which you shouldn't, but right, I type 1, 2, 3, 4, and what I'm reading is 4, 1, 2, 3. It makes no sense. How would I design a bottom nav with 2 items? Do you have like a main plus share thing at the middle, which in Infinite give you like 3 items, or nah? Because a 2, yeah. A 2 tabs things. Damn, this Figma UI is big, zoomed in. Stacy, how are you? How was your weekend? How was your day? All the questions. I hope you're good. All that. Yeah, I guess. But also, if you put a horizontal text label, you lose readability, because like it's basically doing that, right? You just end up with 2 of these. But that's your navigation, which is kind of no good. In terms of technique, you will be he will be with buttons, right? So okay, then that would be pretty neat. 7 gig up, it's pretty neat. So I guess instead of having them buttons like this, I would have them like so, knowing me. And then text would be probably these ones, even though these ones are not that great, so maybe that. And then like a -8, no, not a -8, a -4. Potentially, that would be the way that I do it. Oh, Stacy, I read a marathon and I was like, you run of alien movies. Okay, fine. Was scared for a second. Yeah. I would go with something like this, basically. Probably like a bottom nav that would be like this. And that way you have enough space, but it looks so weird. That's good. That still looks very weird. I'd say it could be. Yeah, I mean that's the part of why you are successful as a company, right? Getting paid for nothing. I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's either this or that. That's cool. Keep that. Yeah, the usual is these. You can also go with that. That's an option. Limited. Too many options everywhere. This is too many options. This is interesting, but it could have been an option. So you have these, right? Yeah. Scott, I know, like it depends on how it's for servers. Scott. I'd say, yeah, this is like the basic behavior that you expect from a 2 tabs things, but like that's basically a segment control rather than tabs. And then this is what I said, right? This could be interesting if you had like a center profile, so center addition of something, specifically because when you have something selected, you have the type. So that's an option. And then, I clicked on this one twice. There was another one and I said it could be interesting, but it wasn't. There's this one, which basically is the same thing, right? It has 3, but you get the active one to be extended. So you could do the same with like a 2, which could basically just do that, right? You have these one that give you this, and then if you go to the other side, it just gives you that, and then you get rid of maybe the text, even though that's not a good idea, but like, right? So you have this transition, but that's a bit weird because you are limiting the amount of touch zone per page rather than getting it in the middle and having the thing work. I don't know. It feels better. Yeah. But I like this in terms of visual cues. I don't like it in terms of usability. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, it's not clickable enough. And so going with a segment control could be a thing. You also have these, that's true. You have a lot of people who are currently doing these types of navigation. But that's the thing. My question to you is it like a switch off page, or is it just a swipe, like when you are in whichever app on your phone, you are swiping through screens? Is that a thing? Left and right? Or is it more, right, something like this, but that's a bit tiny. The one that I clicked on, these. So these ones, you could easily do the same thing, right? I don't think so, Scott. Maybe. I have no clue. I still need to figure out how to do a lot of shit in here. But potentially, I don't know. Okay, so if you have other swipes targets, what I'm thinking about is it could potentially be interesting to have these. So getting like a smaller footprint. Scott, I need to figure out the sound issues that we had in the beginning of the stream to make sure that it works as well with Discord, if we can have like a call. But yeah. Seeing how like hard it was at the beginning of this stream to just have how can I say that? Just the alerts work feels not great. So I know, no good, but still. So it could be something like this, right? So you're taking a bit less space, but they still have 4, but if you have text next to it, could be a thing, right? It seems very French to me, yes, indeed. And then that's the same shit, right? But you have like the text that pops on the top. I don't like that. I like this one though. I like this one mainly because it's a smaller footprint, because it has a smaller values. I guess if you went for full buttons, like, and this one is not the right one, but like if you went for these, and then you add like, I don't know, 8 all around. Just do 64 here. Then you have a feel, and set feels like 10%. Then you had your usual effect, right? Then beam. got that working. Right? So you could have something like this. Could. I think it could be interesting overall. There's a seemingly clickable element rather than this. That's my option 1, and then my option 2 and 3 are potentially the one that is active has, even though I don't like it, but the one that is active has its text still available, right? That's the thing. Or then you can just have both of them with their icon, like respective icon, and they are just still blurring the background, right? That's an option. Not great though. Not great, because you expect, like on these, you really expect to have one of those in the middle, right? Like the tab bar now, you're expecting these. Like, yeah. What do you mean, basically? Yeah, but how out of place would they be, right? Like, would it be better if you had them in like squircle? In which case, I mean, that works as well, and you can even do an icon only. Not great, but have a good rest of your day. It's okay. Have a good client call then. Enjoy. Bye. I'm sure you're far away already. But yeah, that's a weird behavior for sure. I don't know. Yellow screen. Yellow screen means it's time to sleep. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? If it makes no sense. I understand where he's coming from, of people who is just like someone who is just buying them as a company. I mean, buying them, hiring them as a company, and then not even giving you like direction on what they are interested in to have in their product at the end. So it makes a bit of sense, right? Makes a bit of sense. Not a lot, but a bit. Not a lot. Yeah, it's like, well, we had budget, and so we needed to have the budget to go somewhere, so we hired you, so whatever. We'll not even use the thing that you're creating anyway, so do your thing, right? I don't know. Seems weird. Seems very weird to me. Yeah. Okay. Makes no sense, right? I think it's the tiredness. I think it's the tiredness. I think it's time for the tiredness. I think I will send you to Mew today, even though she has like 3K viewers already. I think that's the move. I'll send you to Mew. So, thanks a lot for being here, as always. I appreciate you. If you appreciate me, please click the follow button. If you want to join, if you want to join the Discord, please do so. If you're a sub, this is the raid message for subs. If you are a non-subs, this is the raid message for non-subs. And yeah, all that shit. If you want to buy Clean Slate, it is $2 right there. If you want to buy the other things, you can go on the Gumroad store. You will have access to everything. And yeah, follow me on socials if you want to. If you don't want to, that's a better idea. But yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care of yourself, as always. I will be back tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. UTC. And I think I will try to fix that fucking inputs on the Sty Guide. Yeah, running out of time. So enjoy, Mew, and see you soon. Bye.